Okay, this is our topic for today's class, secure email technologies. In the last class, we discussed email, different email servers, and the uses of email, various uses of email. Usually, we know that email is used for communication, for messaging, sending messages, sending and receiving messages, as well as attachments for sending attachments. Attachments means some files, document files or other data files. Other file formats can be sent as attachments with email. Okay, and that enhances the communication between different business organization. It has various advantages because it is very speedy. It is very quick. Communication through email is very quick and very cheap compared to the traditional or physical modes of communication, isn't it? That's why email or electronic mail has a much greater advantage um, over the traditional, and hence, and that is why most of the communications between business organizations where long messages, documents have to be sent, files have to be sent to other places, other locations, are taking place with the help of email. Okay. Now, we also know that through email, we receive various kinds of mails, some of which may be harmful for us, for the computer, or for the business organization. So, yeah. So because various cyber attackers will try to sneak into our important information, into the resources, computer resources, as well as information in various ways. Email is also one of the popular medium through which cyber attackers or hackers try to sneak into the privacy of email users, um, um, internet users, or business or users. In our emails, we very frequently receive mails from some usually from some business parties, business companies, in which some luring, attractive mails messages are shown, isn't it? Usually, we discard those messages, reject those messages. So those messages contain involve some message in which it is very attractive. It appears to be very attractive. Some, if we do what is written there, if we perform what is there, it shows that we'll get lots of benefit. It will be very beneficial for us. Then maybe sometimes the emails, such emails will contain some files, some attachments. If we open or download those files, those attachments, it might be harmful for our computers. Okay, it might cause some harm. The files might contain some malware software, some malware or virus programs might be there, and it might try to steal some vital information from our computer. So that's why email security, providing security in the email medium is also very important, is an issue of very importance and concern. So here let us look into the various email security aspects, different aspects in which email security of email is required. What is email security? Email security describes various techniques for keeping sensitive information in email communication and accounts secure against unauthorized access, loss, or compromise. Okay, so I've told you that through email, attackers may try to sneak into our computer resources. So it requires security against this kind of threats, okay, unauthorized access or loss of data. Email is a popular medium for the spread of malware, spam, and phishing attacks using deceptive messages to entice recipients to divulge sensitive information, open attachments, or click on hyperlinks that install malware on the victim's device. Okay? So usually just now I have told you that in our mailbox. We receive many mails every day. Almost every day, we receive mails from different um, organizations, different business communities or business people, or some uh, sender which we have never ever heard of. So this may lure us or try to attract us to some beneficial, to some benefit. Okay? They might contain some messages in which, if we fall, actually those messages are some trap in which if we fall, we may have to unconsciously or consciously, we may have to we may be required to disclose our vital information, bank related information, financial information, or business related information, and hence we may be duped, we may be cheated, okay, by these senders of this kind of malicious emails. Email is also a common entry vector for attackers looking to gain a foothold in an enterprise network and breach valuable company data. So, since email is sent not only to individual persons but also business organizations, big or small business organizations have their email and receive most of the messages or communicate with others through email. So it is a common entry vector, common gate through which attackers might send some um, virus, malware to um, invade the company's computer resources and vital information. Email security is necessary for both individual and business email accounts, and there are multiple measures organizations should take to enhance email security. Okay. So both email is necessary. Security in email is necessary for both individual users as well as business organizations. And there are certain measures later at the end of this presentation, if time permits today or otherwise tomorrow, we'll look what are the best practices or safe practices that individual users and business organizations need to follow in order to protect themselves from attacks through the email. The need for email security. Due to the popularity of email as an attack vector, it is critical that enterprises and individuals take measures to secure their email accounts against common attacks as well as attempts at unauthorized access to accounts or communications. Malware sent via email messages can be quite destructive. Phishing emails sent to employees often contain malware attachments designed to look like legitimate documents or include hyperlinks that lead to websites that serve malware. Opening an email attachment or clicking on a link in an email can be all that it takes for accounts or devices to become compromised. Okay. Now, malware, we have got this term many times. Malware, mal stands for malicious. Malicious means harmful. Okay, then since it is a program, so where W-A-R-E, like hardware, software, malware. Malware we know is like a harmful program which might cause some harm to our hardware or software resources, the computer system, and also and the information stored in this computer databases. Then phishing is a term related to financial transactions, related to bank accounts. If you have net banking facility, if you have a bank account and have a net banking facility, when you try to um, enter into your login into your net banking account, before before logging in, before signing in, one of the page displayed by the bank contains some message about phishing. Phishing. Phishing is actually what it is like. Um, Mimicry, mimicry. Mimicry means like copying another person's voice. Similarly, intimating, not intimating. What it is called. Phishing is like someone will be pretending, okay, pretending that it is um, the actual bank, the legitimate or right bank, and it might ask the user or the receiver of the mail to disclose some vital information or ask for the um, user ID or password. Then, if the user is not very careful, is not concerned, not conscious, then he or she might type in the user ID and password, PIN, and other things, um, thinking that these emails are actually the real ones. Okay, but actually, phishing is pretending to be real. Okay, so it is duplicating. Okay, it is emails phishing is like duplicating, pretending that this the real bank or real financial institution, which is actually asking the user ID or password, but actually not. It is some fraudulent message from some cyber attacker or fraudster who is actually trying to steal your user ID, password, and other vital information related to your bank or financial transactions. Okay, so that is phishing. Phishing is pretending to be someone else and asking the vital bank related, financial related information in order to steal them or cause harm. Opening an email attachment or clicking on a link in an email can be all that it takes for accounts or devices to become compromised. Phishing emails can also be used to trick recipients into sharing sensitive information, often by posing as a legitimate business or trusted contacts. Phishing attacks against businesses often target departments that handle sensitive personnel or financial information, such as accounts payable or human resources. Okay, so this is phishing is just now I've told you as I've told you that phishing is actually related to banks. The term and the concept of phishing, it is a crime, no doubt. It is a cyber crime, but it is actually related to banking, net banking, to be more precise, net banking or online banking. Okay, so phishing is an act of pretending to be the actual bank, real bank, but actually it is not. Okay, it is um, someone else who is who is pretending to be the real bank and asking the all the login credentials like the username, password, PIN of ATM card, and other vital information. We should be careful and try to protect ourselves or the business organizations from phishing attacks. Phishing emails aimed at stealing information typically will ask recipients to confirm their login information, passwords, social security number, bank account numbers, and even credit card information. So you see, it asks for all the bank related information or account related, financial account related information from users. Some even link to counterfeit websites that look exactly like that of a reputable vendor or business partner to trick victims into entering account or financial information. Okay, so some attackers might also create websites which look exactly like the real one. Okay, exactly like the real one of the um, bank of the online banking website, and so that the users or the customers of the actual or genuine bank, legitimate bank, um, can be duped, can be cheated, and vital information related to their banking account can be stolen. We should be always careful from and try to protect ourselves from this kind of phishing attacks. Enterprise email best practices. So these are some of the risks of email. Okay, these are some of the security threats or harm that we may suffer. We general users or business organizations may have to face in the form of emails. So, in order to protect ourselves or the business organizations, business or individual users of emails from this kind of risks, certain steps can be taken, so certain measures can be taken. Here, some protective steps, activities can be performed. So let us look into them one by one. First one is enterprise email security best practices. It means what are the different measures or steps that enterprises can adopt, can practice in order to protect themselves from email attacks. There are multiple ways to secure email accounts, and for enterprises, it is a two-pronged approach encompassing employee education and comprehensive security protocols. Best practices for email security include so for enterprises, business organizations, uh, it is a two phase approach. Okay, two-phase procedure. The employee education means the employees of the organization also must be trained, must be uh, informed and trained to maintain security, cyber security. Okay. That is one phase. Another is comprehensive security protocols. Comprehensive security protocols means other than educating and training the employees, certain other IT securities. We have discussed this kind of things. Certain other security measures also may have to be adopted, may have to be protected in order to protect the IT system, entire computer system from the or the entire network of the banking organization um, from cyber attackers. Okay, so these are the two phases of protecting business organizations. One is employee education, the other is security protocols. Best practices for email security include engage employees in ongoing security education around email security risks and how to avoid falling victim to phishing attacks over email. So employees must be the meaning of this is that employees must be educated, must be trained about the risk of email and how they can fall victim to this kind of phishing attacks or attacks through email and how to protect themselves. Okay, this is employee education or training, employee training. Require employees to use strong passwords and mandate password changes periodically. So employees must use strong passwords nowadays. If we have to sign up somewhere, register for some online account, electronic account, we are required to we are mandatorily required to provide passwords to our login account, isn't it? And passwords are usually required to be strong. Strong means it should contain some special characters, then uppercase letters, then some numbers, this kind of things, mixture of this kind of things, if are there in a password, then a password is considered to be strong. Why so? Because if the password contains a mixture of special characters, uppercase letters, small case letters, and numbers, all breaking and the password becomes very difficult, okay, for attackers. That's why that kind of passwords are called strong. So employees should be urged, should be told to use strong passwords to their um, login accounts. Moreover, passwords should be changed periodically, say once in a month or twice or thrice, this kind, after some interval. Passwords should be changed. Utilize email encryption to protect both email content and attachments. Okay, this is something done by the system, not by the general users. That email, the coded the messages sent in through email should be coded, should be encrypted. Um, in our earlier classes, first classes, we have discussed what is encryption, data encryption. So some encryption methods should also be used for coding, for encrypting the data or messages of emails sent through emails. Implement security best practices for BYOD. Do you remember this term? If your company allows employees to access corporate email or personal devices. Ensure that webmail applications are able to secure logins and use encryption. Okay, so this also I've told you that whenever we have to open some account, nowadays register for some account, then we are required to provide passwords and secure logins. Okay, data encryption, all these things take place at the background so as to provide overall security to the entire communication. Implement scanners and other tools to scan messages and block emails containing malware or other malicious files before they reach your end users. So this part, look at the part, first sentence. It is a two-pronged approach. Listen, it is a two-pronged approach encompassing employee education and comprehensive security protocols. So this thing comes under comprehensive security protocol. Ensure that webmail applications are able to secure logins and use encryption. Okay, these are some standards, some protocols that the organization must follow, must practice in order to protect its computers and information from attack through email. Implement scanners and other tools to scan messages and block emails. So all these measures, security measures, come under this thing, comprehensive security protocols. Okay, so comprehensive security protocols include this kind of things: scanners, then to scan messages, and email blocking, block emails containing malware. Okay, so these are some safety measures that enterprises should follow. Implement a data protection solution to identify sensitive data and prevent it from being lost via email. So sometimes some of the mails may be deleted or may be lost accidentally. Let us say accidentally. Then some mechanism should be there in order to retrieve that lost data, or for mechanism should be there to prevent data loss, okay, via email. So all these are this come under this comprehensive security protocols. This should be adopted by the business enterprises. So just like the enterprise means some corporation, business organization should follow this kind of safety measures in order to protect themselves from email attackers. Similarly, we general users, individual users, should also practice certain security aspects, certain steps, certain take some measures in order to protect ourselves um, from email attackers or cyber attackers through email, and protect our computers, hardware and software resources, as well as vital financial information, important financial or other business related information which might harm us, okay, cause harm to us. So these are uh, some email security approaches, email security practices that end users can follow in order to protect themselves. First one is never open attachments or click or click on links in email messages from unknown senders. Okay? I've told you that if we open our mailbox after some days, say 3-4 days, we receive many mails from unknown senders claiming to be some business organization or some um, genuine business party, also business communication, or some products related to some product which attract us, okay, which attract us by trying to prove that it would be very beneficial to jump into that option. Okay, so it becomes very attractive for us, but actually we should not do like traps. Then, if we are not very sure about the sender, if we are not very sure about the identity of the sender, and then usually we should ignore. Okay, if we are not sure about the identity of the sender of the email, or is not someone or something known to us, we should be careful. More so required if the mails contain some attachments, some files, and which need to be downloaded in the computer, then we should be even more careful. Okay? Because this kind of files or attachments in email from unknown senders might contain some malware and cause harm to our computer, hardware, and software resources. Change passwords often and use best practices for creating strong passwords. This I have already told that nowadays for opening any online account, electronic account, we are required to provide not only our user ID or username but also a password. And that too, passwords should be strong enough. Okay, strong means it should contain special characters, uppercase letters, numbers. Okay, so that mixture of these special characters, uppercase letters, general letters, small caps letters, and numbers makes it difficult for cyber attackers to break the password. Okay? So we should follow. We should adapt, give strong passwords, and change the passwords periodically, once a month or after 3 months or 4 months. Okay, so that if someone is trying to um, gain access to our password by using some mechanism, okay, then it will be difficult that cyber attacker to break or strong passwords. Never share passwords with anyone, including co-workers. This we know, and we do also that we should never share our PIN, ATM PIN, or other bank-related information or our passwords with anyone. Okay, we should never share our passwords because we never know if our password is known to someone, then what that person might do. Definitely, if some that person has some malicious plan in his mind, then he'll try to log in into our account, and what he or she might do, we cannot guess. So you should be very careful about keeping passwords. We should keep them very safely so that no one can access our passwords. Try to send as little sensitive information as possible via email and send sensitive information only to recipients who require it. Okay? We should be careful and cautious while sending and receiving email messages. Use spam filters and antivirus software. So it is always a good idea. Uh, it is always wise to use an antivirus software for our computer system and spam filters. Spam filters means some of the mails which come uh, as advertisements for some products from some business organizations uh, can be can be regarded as spam, then they don't come to our email inbox directly. Okay, they are stored separately as spam and stored outside our emails. Okay, so we have to use spam filters for filtering this kind of advertisement related messages. When working remotely on or on a personal device, use VPN, virtual personal network software, to access corporate mail. Avoid accessing company email from public Wi-Fi connections. Okay, so company email should not be accessed through Wi-Fi connections because using a Wi-Fi, many users will be using the Wi-Fi connections. So if some of the computer or smartphone has some malicious software, that may be leaked uh, from that device to the Wi-Fi and enter our own computer system. So accessing that's why Accessing company emails through public Wi-Fi connections should be avoided. Okay, so that is all that I had today for this class. What is email security? Then the need for email security, because it contains, um, it may pose various very harmful threat to an organization as well as to individual users. So that's why security for emails is very important, and not only for individual users but also for business organizations. Then phishing, what is phishing? That also I have told you. Then what are the best practices that enterprises should practice and um, individual users should practice? These are the best practices, security practices for protecting themselves from cyber attackers through email. Okay, that's all for today.